mother was pregnant with me while she was in prison, and a month after she got out of prison, she gave birth to me. So I was cultivated in prison. My embryo was in prison.
Lasan Parrish Crooks was born on June 16, 1971. Afeni soon changed his name to Tupac Shakur, derived from the name of an Incan chief who was torn apart by Spaniards.
You can look at it with a 3 strikes law. You can look at it where they're building more jails. They're starting to sell jail space. You know, jail is big business. Believe me, I'm in jail. I see the big business. They charge you for your telephone calls. They charge you for disciplinary problems. Jail is big business. You know, you can feed a whole town off one jail. This jail is in the middle of a town that feeds everybody. Everybody works here. This is the main income. So if there was no criminals, nobody would work. You gotta start peeping the game. The game is the game of life. You gotta start peeping how they're doing it. And if you see it, you can see the little signs that says that the guns are turning away from, you know, Europe and Russia and Iran and Iraq, and they're turning to us. Soon, the government is gonna make the young black male, the young Hispanic male, the prime target of all their resources and all their jail sentences and all their powerful weapons and technology will be the enemy. So unless we stop it now, regulate it, we're gonna end up crashing against a wall. So if there's a way that you can get out of the game before it's too late, get out the game before it's too late. If you're gonna be in the game and you commit yourself fully, then, you know, do what you can to give back to the community that you raping. He said that. If I die tonight, he said that. An outlaw where I said some dudes in a mask coming to shoot me, I said it, you know what I mean? And it ain't easy. I'm talking about being in jail. You know what I mean? And the judge not letting me out on bail. I mean, I said all of these things and then it happened.
My attitude was fuck it because motherfuckers love it. He tells you, it's all there. He says, I'm a man of many acts. Please understand my history, a man of many acts. He tells you, but he doesn't come out and say it to the media, but he throws it in his literature, in his work.
I definitely feel for the mothers. I understand there's always going to be drug dealing. I understand there's always going to be violence, but we just need to regulate it so that we can at least have like a peaceful zone where we can all be cool, you know, or else we're going to all die. We're going to all be destroyed. And it's cool to talk about it, to recognize it, but I mean, how many times can we say the same thing? You know what I mean? I know it's a way for us to get out the hood, but what are we running to? You know what I mean? Once we get out the hood, shit, they don't want us over there. I know it's not good. If anybody speak up against violence, it'll be the brother that got shot 5 times. I got shot twice in my head, all up in me. Trust me, violence ain't cool. And they know violence ain't cool. Ain't nobody out there with a gun saying it's cool to be shooting people. It's just, you know, it's certain situations where there is no way out. But there are situations where we can find a way out. But until we find that way out, we can't say not to live this lifestyle. You know what gang violence is? Mostly, and the people don't want you to hear this, somebody shoots your family member. So of course you retaliate. You know what I mean? Same thing the US does, except nobody even shot their family members. You know, they see somebody bomb a school and all these people get killed, so the United States feel like, ooh, that's messed up, we gotta go show them who's the real killers. That's the same mentality these gangsters get. America is the biggest gang in the world. You know what I mean? Look at how they didn't agree with Cuba, so what was it? Cut them off. That's what we do in the street, we block things off.
Like a movie, gang violence is scored with hip-hop. Conversely, some hip-hop feeds off of gangs as a source. But where the rest of the world saw an absolute evil, Tupac envisioned a positive spin, a notion rooted in the militant organization he saw in the Panther Party, self-preservation.
I think gangs can be positive. It just has to be organized, and it has to steer away from being self-destructive to being self-productive. I think this country was built on gangs. You know, I think this country still is run on gangs. Republicans, Democrats, the police department, the FBI, the CIA, those are gangs. You know what I mean? The correctional officers. I had a correctional officer tell me straight up, we the biggest gang in New York State. Straight up, you know what I mean? So, this whole country is built on gangs. We just have to not be so self-destructive about it. Organize, you know. If you got somebody dealing drugs in the community, make them pay for the community center. And if they don't want to listen, then you turn against them. You know what I mean? If we so strong as gangs and as hustlers and as G's and as thugs or whatever, it should be no rapes, there should be no violence, there should be no gunshots in our community unless we the ones sparking it, unless we doing that to somebody that's trying to infiltrate or break down our community. All this money that we make in the streets, we should bring it back and turn it back into the community. We need to have block parties again. We need to have leagues, you know, summer leagues and football teams, basketball teams. We need to start taking care of our own. That's how it can be positive. It can be positive when we start sending these young G's to school, sending the younger G's to college. You know, let them come back and build something. I do believe that there's a piece of liability on the drug dealers and the gangsters and the gangs and all of that, but these are not scholars. You know what I mean? We pay taxes. When the people in LA, after the rebellion, when we stopped and there was a truce, nothing happened. Did we get any jobs? No. Did we get any relief? No. But every time there's a flood, an earthquake, or a thunderstorm, America will give mad millions to somebody because their house broke down. They don't care if we stop the violence or not. They don't care about gang violence. You know what I mean? Every time that Bosnia gets shot up, any place gets shot up, they send them a whole bunch of millions in food and packages from Somalia, everywhere. Everybody getting food but us. So we don't want the gang violence to stop. So they can't ask me to tell them to stop the violence, because I can't tell nobody who's hungry what to do unless I'm ready to feed them. Then I'll tell them what to do. For the first 8 months, I spent in solitude, 23 hours a day locked down, reading, writing. I read a lot of good books. I read a lot of Maya Angelou's books, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Listen to music, you know, different types of music, calm my soul. Dionne Farris, she really got me through a lot of this time.
But there was ambition for much more.
Oh, no doubt. You can look forward to me doing movies, writing movies, starring in movies. Soon I want to direct them. You can look forward to me doing records, bringing on a whole bunch of groups. I already got a few now. I just signed to Death Row Records.
Forced into a focus by unfilled time, he began to fixate on his purpose. But stuck in the moment behind bars, music was nowhere to be found at first.
Everybody's like, oh man, he's in jail now. I know you're gonna come out, he's gonna have a bomb album, but it's the opposite. Prison kills your spirit, straight up. It kills your spirit. There is no creativity, there's none of that. You know, I see a lot of it in other prisoners. They got artists in here, they got poets in here, you know, but as far as me, it just killed my spirit. I couldn't write. I only recently started writing, and besides the script was just like flashing back to my own life, so it didn't really take too much for me to be inspired by. But in terms of writing music and lyrics, I didn't have that, I couldn't do it. Now, I just, you know, finished a couple of tracks, so that's good, but it doesn't really inspire creativity. I just thought about how it would change, what would I do? How can I make them sorry that they ever did this to me? You know what I mean? How can I come back like 50 times stronger and better? And also for the people out there, we need to start supporting not every black person that go to jail or get into trouble, but the ones that you know didn't do it. You know what I mean? I feel like people know I didn't do this. They saying right now, they still say Tupac Shakur rape charge. I'm not convicted of no rape charge. I want to make that real clear. My charge was sexual abuse, forcibly touching the buttocks. That's what they charged me. I'm innocent of that, but that's what I'm in jail for. You understand? I'm a messenger, you know, I come and I tell you what's going on. If I went to a club, I'll tell you the club is popping or the club is sorry. I came to jail, I'm telling you straight up, this ain't the spot. It's dirty, it's filthy, it's like you an animal. You know what I mean? And it's just not the spot. No man don't want to be here. No man or woman wants to be here. Now, if we do want to live the thug life and the gangster life and all of that, okay, so stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something, they was that tough. All right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out of here. Let's do something. But they don't want to do that. They want to pimp our communities and portray this image that they know we all can't survive and make it. And that's what I saw. Now, if I was dumb, it'd be cool. It wouldn't be my fault. But it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. I do have another way I can say this. It doesn't mean that I don't feel that way no more. It just means that let me be as smart as them or smarter. No matter what these people say about me, my music does not glorify any image. My music is spiritual if you listen to it. It's all about emotion. It's all about life. And it's rappers might, you know, paint a perfect picture of themselves, or, you know, whatever. I tell my innermost, darkest secrets. I reveal myself in every one of my records, from Dear Mama to Shed So Many Tears. I tell my own personal problems. I don't understand how Dolores Tucker and Bob Dole and all these other dudes, how they can say like we got gangster music. I never even classify my music as gangster music. And if you really, I know they haven't listened to my tape. I know somebody geesed them up to go attack Tupac. And now what it does is they attacked a few famous rappers, and now them themselves are famous. Bob Dole want to get elected, which he won't be. Dolores Tucker just want to get a name, which she won't find, because it'll fade. I don't see how she can say she's helping the black community and strike back at us. We are the black community. You know, we are a part of the black community. But as far as the lyrics, you can look at lyrics in my album, any album, and I'll pick out lyrics and I'll shut them up on all their points. You can look at my recent album, Me Against the World, the title song, Me Against the World.